Hello again, I am Blunty. So, hands up, who's looking forward to Anthem from Bioware / EA? I am. I'll be playing the VIP demo. Can we stop and reflect, by the way, that this is the first launch of this type where the publisher and/or devs have refused to call it a beta, because that has become meaningless. Beta used to mean test version, and more recently, of course, it just does mean demo. So thank you, Bioware, and maybe even EA, although saying thank you to EA for anything feels just dirty, for just re-establishing the word demo for what it is. It's a demo. It's still unfinished code. It's still like 6 weeks behind the launch day product as far as sort of any last minute patches and balancing stuff and things go, but it is, make no mistake, a demo. And the VIP demo, exclusive to those of us who pre-ordered. Yeah, I know. Don't pre-order. I pre-ordered. When was the last time you actually pre-ordered something and weren't filled with regret, by the way? But the VIP demo is going to be followed by an open demo as well. So if you're not playing this weekend, then after that it'll be a free-for-all, so you can try it out without putting the money down on a pre-order first, like a smart person would have. But content creators, we often fool ourselves into thinking, well, I need to get it early. If I'm going to make any content about it, I better do it as soon as possible. It's ridiculous. I don't even know whether I'm going to make any content about it. Depends how much fun I have. I was in the closed alpha, but because of the NDA, I'm not allowed to tell you about what the gameplay was like in the closed alpha, but you can sort of draw your own conclusions about how I felt about it, because I, of course, maintained a pre-order for the game. Haha, sidestepping the NDA. How do you like me now? So yeah, hands up in the chat. Who's going to be in the VIP demo? Who's waiting for the open demo? Who's not going to worry about it at all? Who's going to sit back and wait? Because as much as it seems like it's exciting, it's Destiny, but with Iron Man. This is how people keep describing it. And I did play Destiny and Destiny 2. I wanted to like those games. I wanted to get into those games. Shooters with a sort of open world MMO style, looter shooter sort of aesthetic, an ongoing thing that you can just play and play and play and play and play. I was all in for it. But it turned out that Destiny didn't really tickle my fun button that much. It was very hollow and empty. And Destiny 2 came along and went, all right, I've learned the lesson. Let's give it a go. Oh, man. Apparently Destiny 2 has gotten a lot better in subsequent patches and content releases, but it's too little too late for me. I'd already moved on and away, and you can't really jump on board with those games very easily in the middle of the stream. You either play it from the beginning and you keep playing, or you don't play it. Because if you try and jump on midstream, when everyone's had months and months and months and months of building up their characters, and you're starting at, level 1 scrub and trying to find teammates to balance with, and it just doesn't work very well. So if you miss that onboarding, you might as well just walk away from it, for the most part. And then there was Dauntless, another sort of team-based multiplayer game that I quite enjoyed. Mechanically, it's quite fun. It's still in beta at the moment. It's coming to consoles as well. Once it does, hopefully they'll have cross-platform play, because as much as I had fun playing that game, the problem was the community. There's barely any community. So matchmaking almost never finds me a match. So I'm soloing all the monsters, which is fine, but it's much more fun with other people. And I don't know, there's no one in my IRL friends circle that are playing that game. I got one friend who's playing Monster Hunter World, which is a similar type of game, but I haven't got her into Dauntless yet, though. So. Then, of course, my multiplayer hopes hung on Fallout 76. We know how that went. I wanted to like the game. I stuck with it. I gave it the benefit of the doubt longer than most people did. But finally, I got tired of waiting for the bugs to be fixed and the exploits to be patched. And it's just, the game is full of cheaters and exploiters and gold farmers, basically, these days. It's just, it's terrible. It's more functional than it ever has been, but it's less playable than it ever has been, because it's just not fun anymore. But that brings us back to Anthem. I want to like Anthem. It feels like a game that I can really get into. The style of it, the presentation of it, it looks glorious mechanically. Ooh, I'm not allowed to tell you how it mechanically feels, because that's part of my closed beta NDA agreement. But again, I did keep my pre-order, didn't I? It tells you something. But that style of shooter, third-person shooter with the sort of different roles you can switch and choose and have different loadouts and sort of go solo or team up, and there's apparently some very good matchmaking stuff going on there that will make sure you always got, you know, the right amount of people in your team for any given task and things like that. And hopefully, being that it is a big title from a AAA publisher, that means the community be quite large, which means my chances of knowing people who I actually want to play with are significantly higher as well than they are with something like Dauntless. Then there's the catch. It's an EA published game. Bioware, yay, EA boo. Because as much as Bioware have been walking the walk as far as saying all the right things when it comes to microtransactions and all that kind of stuff that everybody hates and has ruined EA game after EA game after EA game after EA game, regardless of how mechanically wonderful they are and how good the concept is. The people in suits who don't even play games keep ruining them because all they care about is the shareholders and not the gamers. The money, not the users. It's you know, we don't have to go over it. A lot of people have, you know, dismantled this subject piece by piece for years now, especially with the Star Wars stuff, and that's my worry. Bioware is saying the right things. No pay to win. No, we're not doing this. We're not doing that. We know you hate that. We're not doing it. We're not doing it. But we've heard that before, and then EA came in afterwards and said post-launch microtransactions and post-launch loot boxes. That way, the opening of the game, everyone's like, "Hey, it's free of all this stuff," and all the reviewers are going, "Hey, there's no pay to win. That's pretty good," and there's no loot boxes. That's pretty good. And then after everyone buys the game, starts playing, then they start sneaking in that crap. And that's my worry with Anthem, that EA cannot help themselves but poison the well. They have no self-control when it comes to this stuff. And I really, really worry that they're going to F it up for everybody. I just wanted to ramble in anticipation, because when I record this, it's like a day and a half away from when the VIP demo launches. It's 4 a.m. of a Saturday morning for us Australians. I don't know whether I'll get up to be there right at the beginning. I did for the closed alphas. I got up at the 3 a.m. and the 4 a.m. to put as much gameplay in as possible. And I did record it, which is the blurry, messy scene. I can't actually show you the gameplay, so I've blurred it out and put it in the green screen behind me as a sort of a cheat. Just to have something there. I could have had the regular background here, but I just felt like doing the green screen instead, because I did record the closed alpha gameplay. I wanted to do something with it. This felt like the most useful thing I could do. I wonder if I'm allowed to show it after the game launches. We'll do some comparisons, something. Probably not. Probably not. Anyway, how do you feel about Anthem? You're in? You're out? Gonna wait and see? You worried? Confident? Bioware, yay, EA, boo, Thanks for watching. I'm Blunty. I'll catch you next time for another ramble. By the way, there's another video that went up today, but YouTube are kind of effing it over. If you're interested in Far Cry New Dawn, there's a link to that in the pinned tweet or something. Pinned comment or something. Because that's just, it's not being fed out to people. It's not in anybody's subscriber feed. It's not being shown anywhere. It's just, it's been up for hours and it's got like 230 views. Thanks, YouTube. That's great.